The boy holds a piece of rope and walks up to the wild wolf. Then, he quickly ties its mouth shut. He wraps the rope around a few times and ties a tight knot, but he does not hurt the wolf. Instead, he gently cleans its cuts. Then, he puts the wolf inside a cave so he can watch it closely. The boy stays awake all night right next to it. But when Kida wakes up the next morning, he sees that the wolf has broken out of the rope. It shows its sharp teeth at him. The boy is so scared that he does not move at all. But he realizes that if the wolf really wanted to hurt him, he would have died during the night. Thinking about this, the boy finds his courage again. With shaking hands, he holds out water to the wolf's mouth. The wolf does not fight him. It leans forward and drinks a lot of water. Only then does Kida finally relax a little bit. He has no idea that this wolf he saved will change the whole history of humans forever. A few days before this, Kida was hurt in an accident and got separated from his group. He had to walk through the wild all alone with no food to eat. He stayed alive by eating small bugs, but that was not enough food for a human, and it was definitely not enough for a hurt wolf that needed meat to get better. So, Kida, who had never killed an animal before, makes his heart strong and hunts a rabbit for the wolf. But just as he gets ready to build a fire and cook it, the wolf's wild nature takes over. It tries to grab the food right out of Kenda's hands. Seeing that the wild beast has not changed, Kida bites into the raw meat himself and tears off a big piece. This is his way of showing who is boss, proving that he owns this food. Kida knows that if he acts weak, he might become the wolf's next meal. Luckily, his friction fire finally works. The bright flames show the wolf that he has the power. Kida sits by the fire and eats the cooked meat. The wolf next to him stops acting angry. Every now and then, it makes soft, sad noises, looking at the food because it is so hungry. After Kida finishes eating and sees the wolf has given up, he finally throws a piece of meat over to it. This is not a gift. It is the first rule Kida makes for them. He gives food and safety, and the wolf must listen to him. Kida thinks the wolf has accepted this rule. That night, he tries to sit closer, but the wolf growls. It shows its teeth to protect itself because it is still afraid. The wall of fear between them is starting to break, but it will still take more time to go away completely. In the middle of the dark night, the wolf howls out into the open sky. It is a loud cry from deep inside its heart. It misses its family pack. Hearing that lonely sound, Kida also starts to miss his own family. At this moment, a boy and a wolf, two lonely living things left behind by their own kinds, slowly begin to feel like friends. Soon, Kida's body starts to heal. After packing up his things, he gets ready to walk back to his home village. He even says goodbye to the wolf before he goes. He tries to take back his warm scarf, but the wolf holds on tight with its teeth and will not let go. Kida pulls hard for a while before he finally gets it back. The wolf stops fighting. It just lies on the ground, looking up at Kida with sad eyes that show it wants him and does not want him to leave. It does not understand what human goodbyes mean. It only knows that the scarf smells like Kida, the smell of good food and warmth. Kida wants the wolf to go back to its own pack, but the wolf will not move at all. With no other choice, Kida starts walking alone. But before he goes very far, the wolf quietly walks behind him, always keeping a safe distance. In this dangerous ancient world where only the strong stay alive, the smart wolf knows that since it is hurt, living alone is too hard. So, its inner feelings tell it to stay close to Kida. No matter how many times Kida stops to yell and wave his hands to chase it away, the wolf has made up its mind. It simply will not leave him. Just as Kida runs out of ideas, the wolf suddenly runs right past him. Confused, Kida follows it. Soon he sees a group of wild pigs hiding at the bottom of a hill. Before the boy can even get his weapon ready, the wolf runs down and chases the pigs right toward him. It is a great chance to get food during a hard time. But Kida does not have enough practice and misses the shot. The pigs run away in a panic. Only after Kida offers his very last bit of food does the wolf finally walk over, slowly taking the meal from his hand. From that day on, Kida makes a sharp whistle every time he feeds it. To his surprise, after doing this many times, the wolf learns to run to him whenever it hears that whistle. So, Kida gives it a real name, Alpha. With Alpha walking next to him, Kida does not have to worry about starving anymore. Even though his own hunting skills are not very good, he knows how to make fire, and Alpha is a naturally amazing hunter. One human boy and one wild wolf, helping each other perfectly. Together, they eat hot meals every single night. Whenever they share cooked meat under the stars, Alpha's eyes almost look like she is laughing at Kida's bad hunting. But when they go to sleep and the fire goes out, as the freezing cold air comes in, Alpha willingly curls up right next to Kida, using her thick fur to keep him warm. In the morning, she wakes Kida up by licking his face, acting like the best natural alarm clock you could ask for. The bad feelings and fear that used to keep them apart have completely gone away. As they become closer friends, Kida stops being so careful. One day, while washing in a river, he playfully pushes Alpha into the water. Alpha does not get mad. She happily splashes around with him. And the very first thing she does when she gets back to the dry land is bring him a big fish in her mouth, a nice gift after their swim together. On this huge empty land, they have truly become each other's only help. When a very cold winter comes much earlier than usual, deep snow covers the whole ground. By now, Kida and Alpha work together like a team that never fails. The big wild pigs that used to run away from them are now caught easily. It looks like the boy and the wolf will pass the cold months in peace. But before the smoke from that night's dinner can even disappear, a very hungry wolf smells the meat and appears from the trees. Kida quickly grabs a big wooden stick and gets ready to fight. But when he looks closer, he sees a whole pack of wolves behind it. Before Kida can even think about what to do, Alpha walks forward all by herself. She softly rubs her neck against the leader wolf's neck. There is no angry fighting between them at all. This big leader wolf is actually Alpha's old mate, and the whole pack has been looking for her. Alpha looks back at Kida, and her eyes are full of two different feelings. She is sad to leave her human friend, but she really wants to go back to her wolf family. Kida understands right away. Even though his heart hurts a lot, he knows he must let Alpha go. After losing his best friend, Kida is very sad, but he knows Alpha belongs in the wild. He cannot be selfish and keep her trapped with him forever. Without Alpha, Kida goes back to a totally lonely life. As the weather gets colder and animals disappear, he misses Alpha more than ever before. He misses her warm fur and the safe feeling she gave him. One day, while walking, Kida steps on thin ice and falls straight into a frozen lake. He fights hard in the freezing water. Just as his body gives up and he thinks he will drown, he sees the shape of a wolf running on the ice right above him. Finding a little bit of hope, Kida uses all his strength to swim to a thinner part of the ice and pushes his knife through it. But before Kida can pull himself out, the wolf runs over and bites onto his sleeve. She pulls his heavy body all the way out onto the ice. Wet from head to toe, Kida shakes violently from the cold. The wolf licks his face over and over to make him feel better, then lies right on top of him, using her thick coat to give him life-saving warmth. The friend that saved him from the freezing water is Alpha. Because she could not stop worrying about Kida, Alpha left her safe pack and followed his footsteps across a long distance. That is the exact reason she showed up the very moment he fell into the deep lake. With Alpha taking care of him, Kida slowly gets his strength back. Even though he stayed alive, his body is still very weak. Every step is a hard fight until he sees a small shape that looks like a tent far away. A little bit of hope comes back into his chest. He runs over to get help, but as he gets closer, he sees it as just a frozen dead body. The sad truth hurts him badly. To make things even worse, the tent is completely empty. There is no food left at all. All his hope is gone. Kida's health drops fast because of the freezing cold and hunger. He even begins to cough up dark blood. Even with all this pain, his strong wish to stay alive does not break. Looking at the very tired Alpha, he knows they must keep walking or they will die. Before leaving the tent, he takes a bow and some arrows from next to the dead person, saying a quiet thank you. Then, he and Alpha keep walking into the snowstorm. But not long after they start moving, a terrible wind hits them. Even worse, a group of wild hyenas starts following them from behind. With no other choices left, Kida and Alpha run blindly into the storm to get away. In all the confusion, they fall into a dark cave. Luckily, the angry hyenas do not find their hiding spot. They are safe for now. Just as Kida starts to breathe easily, Alpha suddenly shows her teeth and growls into the dark back of the cave. Her sharp senses feel a much bigger danger nearby. A second later, a huge wild lion jumps out. Without waiting at all, Alpha runs forward to fight. Even though she is fighting an animal much bigger than herself, she fights hard to keep Kida safe. But the big lion is just too strong. Slowly, Alpha starts to lose the fight. At that dangerous moment, Kida stops feeling scared. He lifts his new bow, points it right at the big lion, and lets the arrow fly. The shot hits the target, but Alpha falls to the floor, barely breathing. Kida loudly calls her name, but the wolf does not move at all. Suddenly, the dead lion's body starts to move. To Kida's surprise, Alpha slowly crawls out from under the heavy animal, forcing her hurt legs to stand up. Only after she sees that Kida is completely safe does she finally drop to the ground and pass out. Against all odds, Alpha stays alive. With a broken heart, Kida gently cleans her deep wounds. After living through so many scary things together, he now thinks of Alpha as his real family. All he wants now is for Alpha to get better. But as the snow keeps falling, Alpha's injuries get worse. They have to get back to the human village right away. It is their only chance to live. After walking through the wild for a very long time, they finally find a tribal sign carved into a big rock. It means they are walking in the right direction. But the snowstorm gets worse, and Alpha's strength drops to nothing. Many days of walking have used up all her energy. Finally, Alpha falls into the snow and cannot move. Kida drops to his knees right next to her, speaking soft words to help her. Even though Alpha can no longer stand up, Kida never thinks about leaving her behind to die. Instead, he holds his breath and lifts his heavy friend right into his arms because, in his heart, Alpha is not just a wild animal anymore. She is like his brother. But before long, Kida's own body gives out. He falls down into the deep snow and goes to sleep. In his dream, he sees his mom and dad waiting for him to come home. A big, strong feeling of power suddenly wakes up inside his mind. Guided by that dream, he forces his cold legs to stand up again, lifting Alpha's heavy body one more time to push through the storm toward home. Moving only on pure willpower, they finally walk into his old village. Safety is right in front of them, but Alpha is very close to dying. As Kida walks past the tents holding the big wolf in his arms, every person in the village is completely shocked. Even the village leader never thought his son, who had no experience living in the wild, could do something so amazing. Not only did he come back alive, he also brought back a living wild wolf. Before falling asleep from being so tired, Kida uses his very last bit of strength to point at Alpha. It is his last wish, asking his father to save her life. When Kida finally opens his eyes again, he is resting inside a warm tent. The very first thing he does is look for Alpha. Luckily, the village doctor successfully saved her life. But before Kida can relax, the doctor points out something very surprising about Alpha's belly. Only then does Kida finally understand the whole truth. The loyal friend who had fought for him is actually a girl wolf, and she was already going to have babies when she left her old pack. He can hardly believe it. Alpha fought a big lion while carrying babies and walked for miles through the snow just to keep him safe. In that exact moment, Kida truly understands how much she loves him. This deep friendship, made during a hard fight to stay alive, touches his heart completely. As time goes by, both Kida and Alpha get completely better. Alpha's new puppies grow up safe and happy inside the human village. Working together with Kida, they help protect the village lands from danger. From that special day on, whenever the humans go out to hunt, wolves run right next to them. They become the strongest, most famous group of the ancient world. This is the story of how the world's very first dogs were born. They put true loyalty into their bodies forever, always walking next to humans through all the years of time.